Well, joining me now on Talking Business is Olivia Maragna, who's a Brisbane-based financial planner with a firm called Aspire Retire, which she founded with her husband. Welcome to the program, Olivia.
Thank you for having me, Alan.
Now, one thing that makes perhaps you stand out a bit is the amount of media you do. You're on the radio a lot, you do a lot of interviews with magazines, you write for Fairfax publications. Tell us about why you do that.
Well, I think it really comes from my own personal passion. So my passion is really about educating consumers. It's not necessarily about people having to obtain financial advice. It's just trying to lift that standard of financial awareness amongst everyone in the community. I think, there's only 20% of people in the community that actually use financial planners to seek advice.
And you think that could be higher? Should be higher?
Well, I think, one of the things that I always see when clients come and see us is there's always something they could be doing better. They're either giving away unnecessary money it might be in fees, it might be in tax, it might be they're not structured right. So it's trying to get that level of financial awareness increased a little bit in order for people to go, look, is there actually something that I should be doing that's better for myself, better for my children, better for my financial security going forward. And then also keeping them aware of, what is the value of advice and when is the time that they should actually pick up a phone and talk to someone. So it's really that passion around trying to educate consumers on what they should be doing, because it's those little things, I think, that really add up. I was very lucky as a young teenager to be around people who, invested and knew stuff about investments and property and super and those sort of things. So I had sort of a kickstart in life because I was surrounded by those people. And
Is that why you decided to become a financial advisor?
Well, the financial advising really came from, I was an accountant at the time, working in one of the big four accounting practices. And I really found accounting, as much as it was a really good foundation, I was a little bit frustrated in that we were always sort of looking backwards. One of the things that we always used to do is this is the consequences of what you've done over the last 12 months, and you'd really only plan maybe for the next 6 or 12 months going forward. Financial planning is you look a lot more forward than that, and that's really the passion of how you can proactively advise clients and really help them and make a real difference. I think that's where I see my role is that, I actually can affect change and, affect behaviour of how people deal with money and how they, look forward to their financial future.
I think one of the things that sets you apart, and you and your husband apart, is that you charge a dollar amount rather than percentages of funds under advice, which I'm highly in favour of. And I think, I think the problem is that people don't perhaps understand percentages, but they obviously do understand dollars, and it's quite difficult, I think, for financial advisors to charge a dollar amount because they often don't. It feels like a lot of money.
Yeah, look, I think, when we first started the business, we were doing it this way. So we never have charged a percentage of the value of investments or anything like that. And I don't think it's fair. I don't think that someone who has, $500,000 in assets should pay half as much, or, someone who's got $1 million in assets pay twice as much as someone who's got $500,000 in investments. For us, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It should be around, what is the client trying to achieve? What complexities do they have in their situation that we're trying to solve? We really see ourselves as similar to an accountant or lawyer where it's, clients engage us for a particular reason. It's to remove those complexities or concerns that they have. And we charge that fixed dollar fee based on what they actually require. So, percentages, commissions, entry fees, exit fees, all of that we don't do. And I think that that's really important for consumers. I think, the reason why we've grown at such a rapid pace, over the time is because clients can come to us knowing that whatever we're actually going to recommend, the options that we give them is actually what's in their best interest, as opposed to, any sort of doubt that it might be linked to something to do with investments. So we see our role as we provide the advice. What actually happens with investments or insurance is something incidental.
Interesting. So what roughly do you charge on average? Obviously, it varies according to the client and the complexity of their affairs, but what does it turn out to be?
Well, so when clients actually come to us, we actually sit down with them, and so the process that we go through is usually we see clients somewhere between 4 and 6 times over the first 2 to 3 months of our relationship with the clients. when we work out what it is that's important to them. So they might come to us and say, look, say for example, it might be a small business who says, look, we're looking at transitioning our business to the next generation. We want to do this over a period of 12 months. We want to try and retain all the relationships within the family, and then we'll look at, say, for example, a fixed fee. We quote up front, it's a fixed fee, and it just gets interim billed. So it really comes down to what are they looking for. It might be a executive, it might be someone who doesn't have the time to look after their finances. They want that expertise. Again, it's all based on, we know in business what it takes to actually service a client or to project manage a particular complexity for a client. So it's just quoted up front, they agree to that, and then the process starts.
So, on average, what sort of fee would you charge? Or is that not a valid question?
It's kind of it depends. Some clients come to us with, it could be a retiree who's just enjoys travel and that's what's really important to them, and they want someone just keeping an eye over their finances, making sure that they have that financial longevity. So I think the thing that makes us different is there's not one size fits all. We're very tailored. It all depends on what it is that clients, actually want from us. What are the services? Do they want to see us once a year? Do they want to see us 4 times a year? But it's all quoted up front. So if I can, I guess, give you a bit of an example of a recent client, they're on a fixed fee of about $850 per month with us, and the services that they provide are fixed for that 12-month period. In 12 months' time, that project will be finished, and then we'll re-engage at that time, look at what it is that they're looking at going forward. So it is very specific to clients. Some clients pay us a lot more than that. Some clients pay us less than that.
You dropped all your papers. So that's okay. It's all in your head, so don't worry about it.
Very passionate about it. I don't need my papers.
No, that's right. So, and there's a business is successful. People respond to that way of
they love it.
Business.
Yeah, they love it. Like I said, I think the thing about our profession is that we have been dragged through a lot of bad surveys, and there's that, I think that's probably the biggest thing is changing that consumer perception of what is it that a financial planner actually does, and that's something that I'm very passionate about. I think the fact that we are privately owned and operated, we're not tied to institutions, an institution doesn't own us, all those sort of things. We can, clients are attracted to it because they can come to us and go, look, we know that you are going to give us all the options that are available to us. It's not just this small little, area of what you can recommend. We know that we're going to get the open book as far as what's on options for us.
So, where do you go from here? Is just continuing to grow the business and promote it? It's interesting, you're based in Brisbane, but you have clients all over Australia, don't you?
Yeah, we do. So, as far as Perth, so Perth, Melbourne, Sydney is where I spend quite a lot of time. We've got clients in New Zealand as well. We've got a 95% referral rate within our business, so we grow at about 25-30% plus every year. The referral rate is something that we're really proud of. So our philosophy is quite simple. We want to do a really great job with our clients. We want to add value to their situation, and they turn into raving fans and talk about us. Our goal is to be invited to that 80th birthday party, and we've been invited to clients' 80th birthday parties where there's been 100 people and 20 different tables, and we've sort of arrived at the function and gone, wonder where we're going to be sitting, probably at the back of the room, and there we are on the head table next to the cardiologist. So, they're the sort of...
Next to the cardiologist. That's great.
So, we've had examples where we've been invited to 60th birthday parties of clients and we're the only non-family people who are attending. So that's the sort of relationship that we have with clients. We have no doubt that we're going to continue to grow at the pace that we are. For us, it's all about managing that growth and making sure that we bring on the right team. So, we do recruit from a very strong tax and accounting background. Both myself and my partner, we're CAs, so chartered accountants and CPAs. That's the sort of, technical expertise that we want in the business that's going to help our clients going forward.
Well, it's been great talking to you, Olivia. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Alan.
I've been talking to Olivia Maragna, one of the co-founders and CEO of Aspire Retire.